Hello and welcome to Shoot the Hostage with me, Sarah, and my partner Dan. We're a movie podcast and we cover 8 films per season on a specific theme. Now, we swear, we chat major spoilers, and we occasionally cover triggering topics, so please do use listener discretion. If you like what we do and want to support us, consider hitting 5 stars on Spotify, or maybe subscribing or even reviewing on your platform of choice. We also have a Patreon with a free tier for lineups and updates, and 2 paid tiers with extra content and early ad-free uploads. Right, on with the show.
Sarah, as your attorney, I advise you to take a hit out of the little brown bottle in my shaving kit.
I don't think that's wise, do you?
I reckon as your attorney, I advise you to take a hit out of the little brown bottle in my shaving kit and then wait an hour and then we'll come back and record the podcast, shall we? Because we want to be authentic, I think. Gonzo podcastism.
Podcastism.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I won't be doing that.
No?
No.
Okay.
FYI.
All right. I'll do it for you then.
Okay. Do I still have to wait an hour?
No, we'll just see, maybe we won't. We'll just carry on recording, and at some point I might end up on the ceiling and you can go, oh, the liquid in the little brown bottle in your shaving kit is actually starting to work. And we'll see what happens from there, I guess.
Look,
podcast from the rest of the podcast can be from the ceiling. That's fine. That works.
does it?
Yeah, I think so.
If you've got any little brown bottles in your shaving kit, it's going to be beard oil.
Yeah.
Which I don't imagine is going to get you very high.
I don't know. Has anyone ever tried drinking beard oil?
No.
Maybe someone... No, you shouldn't do it.
As your attorney, I'd advise that you don't tell people to do that.
To drink beard oil?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't do any of those things, obviously. This is the last episode of the season, of your season of movies about drugs, Sarah. How do you feel about that?
Exhausted.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Because of all the movies that you chose?
Yeah. I know. I have nobody else to blame but myself, as per usual. But yeah, it's been hard going.
It's been a real journey.
Yeah,
hasn't it has. There's been some highs. There's been some lows.
See what you did there.
There's been some arms off. Yeah, it's been a real roller coaster kind of season, I think. Probably more than it has been in a while.
I would agree. Yeah.
And but we're at the end.
Yeah.
So it's the last one. You decided to finish off the season with perhaps the quintessential, let's say, portrayal of drug-induced situations
the most
on film.
Paranoid movie known to man.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's a movie. It's a podcast of seconds for us.
Okay.
It's our first. Let's start with. It's our first Johnny Depp movie, right? Unless he was cameoed in something else that I've forgotten about.
I don't believe so. I think that one is a first. It's our second Benicio del Toro movie.
Yes. Though. Yeah, our first being The Way of the Gun, which we spoke about with Chris from Just a Thing. It's our second Jeanette Goldstein movie.
Oh, yeah. First being Near Dark.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I forgot she was in this.
So did I.
There's so many cameos.
There are so many cameos. It's our second Craig Bierko movie.
Yeah. Yeah. When we were watching this the other night, I was like, was that guy in the 13th floor? He looks familiar.
I didn't clock it at all. And then when you said that, I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Which we've covered. Craig Bierko made 2 movies.
He did.
We covered both of them. I'm sure he's done way more. It's our second movie about a journalist who worked for Rolling Stone at some point.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Almost Famous.
Well, isn't that crazy?
That is quite specific.
You chose both of them.
Yeah.
How funny. You do have like quite an interest in music, don't you?
I do,
and that era of kind of 70s, movies and music really. Just the 70s as a decade, as a movement, as a culture. The clothing, like that you have a real fixation on it, don't you?
I do. I think it's somewhat of a romanticization though, because I didn't live through the 70s. So perhaps people who did wouldn't look back on it quite so fondly. But I have this weird sort of borrowed nostalgia for that decade.
Yeah. So Nixon not your favourite
No.
president?
No.
No.
I don't think I have a favourite president now that you said that.
No. Who's the least worst? I don't know. This is not a discussion for now. Maybe when we do a season of film presidents or whatever, but that's not going to happen.
Look, it's a Sunday afternoon. I don't feel like getting irate this afternoon.
Fair
so
enough.
let's leave that one.
Fair enough. It's based on book.
Yep.
Based on a book that came out in 1971, written by Hunter S. Thompson. Do you know the full title of the book?
I don't. I've never read it. Have you?
It's a bit of a mouthful. I have read it, and I liked it.
Okay.
I saw obviously saw the movie first, and went back and caught the book maybe about, I want to say I read that about 2005, 2006 maybe.
Okay.
It was quite a small book, if I remember correctly. I've probably got it. It's probably in a loft somewhere.
Being
really
eaten
liked
by
it.
mice.
Probably been eaten by mice. It's fine. I've read it. They need it for their home.
Oh.
I'm joking. Let's catch them and chuck them in the river.
Oh my God.
One extreme to the other.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get, do
What
you?
a roller coaster.
I think that liquid in that little brown bottle is starting to kick in. So blame everything on that from this point forward.
Yeah, sure.
Quite enjoyed the book, I think. It's remarkably similar to the movie, if I remember correctly. Pretty much identical.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. It was a long time since I read it, 20 years at this point. But yeah, I think it was pretty much the same, but there was some stuff at the start of the book that wasn't in the movie, I think. But the full title of the book is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, A Savage Journey to the Heart of the American Dream.
That's too long.
It's way too long. Obviously, for the movie, they decided to drop that, the second part of that, and just call it Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I think was the right move.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're getting into a Borat cultural learnings for make benefit glorious nation of Kazakhstan type situation.
And who has the time?
Who has the time? Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen apparently. So yeah, based on book, we do a lot of those.
We do. I don't know if that's I don't know if that speaks to our love of adaptations or just a lack of original ideas in Hollywood.
Yeah, probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
So 71 the book came out, and as early as 1976 they were trying to get a film production off the ground.
Holy shit.
Apparently Martin Scorsese, someone called Ralph Bakshi, who I'm not familiar with.
No, don't know that name.
And Oliver Stone.
I read about Scorsese and Stone.
Okay.
And that they had some involvement over the years, yeah.
Yeah, it feels kind of a bit Oliver Stone to me as well.
Way more Stone than Scorsese, yeah.
Yeah, yes, yeah, for
Way
sure.
more.
But like a lot of, obviously, we'll get into the film and how it was shot and presented to us, but very surreal by nature. I feel like Stone did that a lot with, what's the murder ones?
Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers, yeah. Did you ever watch U-Turn, which came out to a similar time to Fear and Loathing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got, maybe it's just that kind of dry, deserty type vibe, but yeah, similar in the way that it's presented, I think. So I can see Stone. I can sort of see his DNA, whether that's actual or I'm just projecting that, I don't know, but I can see that for sure. Apparently, did you hear about any of a couple of pairings that were kind of floated as ideas in terms of the two leads for the...
Yeah, I heard a really bizarre one. I think I read Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't mind living in the universe, albeit temporarily, to watch that movie where that exists.
I mean, look, maybe it's just my sort of resistance to Marlon Brando and just the stories of how fucking difficult he was to work with, and it just seemed like a kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, and
I think Nicholson could have nailed it.
Which way round do you do it? I think I put Brando as Dr. Gonzo.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And Jack Nicholson as the straight man, Raoul Duke?
Sure. Go on, are there any other pairings that were talked about?
Yeah, I wrote down one other pair, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Okay.
But obviously I think that sort of went away when Belushi died.
That would have, had a huge... That would have been a big stumbling block to that casting.
It becomes very difficult to make a movie at that point,
does, yeah.
Unless you're a Fast and the Furious movie, apparently. When it doesn't matter if you're dead.
Less said about that, the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ.
But that's it on the pairings that I read. Were there any other potential casting choices that you read about?
No. Just the Brando and Nicholson one kind of stopped me in my tracks. That would have been deeply odd.
I'm kind of fascinated by that, though. I would, like I said, would like to see what that would have been.
Well, Nicholson does Unhinged so well.
Yeah.
So I think that could have been really interesting.
And Marlon Brando was unhinged.
And often unintelligible. So not unlike the pairing that we got.
It would have taken forever because he would have demanded crew members place an ice bucket atop his head.
Yeah.
Filling it with ice.
He would expect a mini-me to follow him around and It's
just it's problems.
Yeah.
It's problems all round, really, with that man, wasn't it? We need to cover that movie that we're referencing.
The Island of Dr.
Moreau. We need to cover that at some point.
Oh, Flops season 2, baby.
Yeah. Even if it's just an excuse to watch that documentary again. Lost Souls, was it?
Yeah.
God, what a fascinating documentary that was.
Right?
Ugh. I think it's because I'm sort of, my brain's in the 90s, so I'm thinking about, for some reason, the Island of Dr. Moreau. But I think, so it didn't obviously happen in the 80s, the production. I think it probably went away for a little while, returned in the early 90s, around 92, I think. So it was in production for in development and pre-production for a while. Depp came on board, and he really wanted a director called Bruce Robinson, who I don't know if you're familiar with the work of Bruce Robinson, but he directed With Now and I.
Oh, how weird!
Yeah, and he directed a movie called How to Get Ahead in Advertising. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, no. Heard of it, but not seen it.
Yeah, I'm kind of keen to watch. It's been so long since I've seen it. I remember catching it on TV and it just been one of the most bizarre things that I'd seen.
Really?
And yeah, I think we should watch it.
Okay.
We should try and get a hold of a copy of it and give it a watch, because it's been a while, and I think it was... I think I was too young to get what it was fully doing, but yeah, I enjoyed it regardless.
Bizarre, you say?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
And Bruce Robinson actually went on very, very later to direct The Rum Diary with Johnny Depp.
Oh, I was going to say that was Depp as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, based on a book by Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so another link there.
I did read that Alex Cox was originally supposed to direct as well.
Oh, was Alex Cox credited as a writer on the
I believe
final version?
He was, yes.
I remember seeing the name. Okay.
So he must have contributed enough to warrant the credit before he exited the project. I did read that it was just differences, creative differences, disagreements, but I would have been interested in that version as well. I think Gilliam was the right call.
Absolutely.
But I would have been interested in that one because I like Repo Man. I like Sid and Nancy. So,
Alex Cox is responsible for those?
Yeah.
Right.
I would have been interested to see where that went.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like, interesting ideas. I do think ultimately that the version that we got is perfect as it is. I think Gilliam is the perfect choice for this.
Yeah.
I struggle to name you a director working then or working now that I think would be a better fit for this. And I'm really glad that he came on board, I guess, around the mid-90s kind of area. So he would have been around about his 12 Monkeys era.
Okay, when was that? Was that 95?
I think that was 95 or 96, I think, yes. So the project directly before Fear and Loathing.
Okay. I feel like you're a little bit more familiar with Terry Gilliam's back catalogue than I am.
Would you say so? Right, let's do a Big Gilly style quiz.
Big Gilly style,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's
I did not know there was to be a quiz today.
There's always risk of a quiz. It's not really a quiz, it's just me asking you, have you seen Time Bandits?
Yes. But probably not since I was a child.
Yeah. I caught it a few months ago, actually, when I was staying in a hotel and you're stuck with terrestrial television.
Oh, yeah.
It's both good and bad. It's bad because you're stuck watching often a terrible Mark Wahlberg movie.
Otherwise known as a Mark Wahlberg movie.
Yeah. I watched Father Stew on my travels.
Oh, you were the one.
Oh, Sarah, it's not good. Don't watch it.
No, I wasn't intending to.
so it's bad for that. But the good thing is that because your options are limited, it does mean that sometimes I watch things that I probably wouldn't have gotten around to watching or either rewatching.
Yeah.
And Time Bandits does fall into that because I hadn't seen it for years and years and years since I was a kid. And I'm really glad I caught it as an adult, particularly in relation to obviously covering a Gil-I-Am movie. And it was really fun to rewatch it. Another one, oddly, I don't know if they were just doing a Terry Gilliam season or whatever, but I think within the same week or two, they also showed The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Oh, you mentioned that briefly in the Go episode, didn't you?
Yes. And that was, I watched that. I remember that was coming on. I was thinking, oh, good, I can tick off Sarah Polly and Gil-I-Am for a later episode. So that's what I did. And again, hadn't seen it since I was a kid. Maybe I'd only seen it once or something, but it was one of those that, remember when there were certain VHSs you watched as a kid that you would watch over and over again?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was The Terminator and, a few others, Total Recall. Probably had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
You like those movies, do you?
I do, yeah.
I don't know. Mentioned that.
Never mentioned it before, and I won't ever mention it again.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain videos that I used to watch over and over again, certain tapes. But that also meant I would watch the trailers for whatever trailers they had on those tapes over and over again. And I'm not sure what tape this would, Adventures of Baron Munchausen, the trailer would have been on. But whatever it was, it's a film I watched a lot. And so there's certain scenes in it that are just sort of stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch the whole thing. Wasn't expecting to see Robin Williams in it. He just has a very weird brain, and it's just incredibly surreal and creative. And it doesn't always work, his stuff, I don't think. But I feel like his earlier career is more sort of fantasy, whimsy sort of, but like tongue in cheek and a bit mean spirited sometimes, like poking fun at things. But mostly establishments, I would say, even in his earlier work. And then you get to things like 12 Monkeys, where it's just like, yeah, the whole human race dies. So I feel like he's a very like critical, kind of anti-establishment sort of filmmaker guy. He wants to provoke a little bit.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, absolutely.
I did read somewhere actually that he wanted this to be one of the greatest films of all time, but also one of the most hated films of all time. And when I read that, I was just like, has he met Gaspar Noé?
Yeah.
Perhaps they would get along.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's a whole different level. Go and listen to our climax show. Have you seen Brazil?
Do you know what? I'm just looking at his filmography now, and I know I said that I think you're a little bit more familiar than I am, but actually I've seen most of these. I've seen Brazil, yes. I've seen 12 Monkeys. I always forget 12 Monkeys is him, to be honest.
Doing a sequel to that soon as well.
Really?
Yeah, 13 Monkeys.
Are you joking?
Yeah.
Is there really going to be a sequel?
No.
Oh, Dan. I'm too gullible. Obviously, Holy Grail.
Oh, do you know what?
We can't.
Gilliam, I always forget.
We can't not mention that.
Oh, damn. Maybe that's my favourite Gilliam then. Damn.
One thing I always forget that he did was The Fisher King. Have you seen that?
He? No, I don't think I have seen that. Robin Williams.
Yes.
Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. There's definitely a Jeff in it.
Bridges.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've only seen it once. I think I must have rented it on VHS. It was such a long time ago. But it had a really, really shocking scene quite near the beginning. And I probably wouldn't find it shocking now, but I would have been young enough that I was like, holy shit. They just did that.
Okay.
I remember it being pretty good though.
I need to see it, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple of blind spots in my Gil-I-Am.
Have you seen the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus?
I think I have seen it, yes. Is that the one that has the last Heath Ledger on-screen performance in?
Yeah.
And they ended up getting a few different actors to play the same character and make it kind of part of the...
They did, yeah.
Right, okay. I think I have seen it, but I don't think it left much of an impression on me.
No, likewise. I think... I kind of appreciate what they did to... they were left in such a difficult situation, obviously, when Heath Ledger passed. But I think they went about it in quite a creative way. It just didn't land for me. it was very sad all round, that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen The Brothers Grimm?
You don't think I have, actually.
I didn't love that one, which is bizarre because you know me and fairy tale shit.
Yeah.
It's very much my jam.
Who were the Brothers Grimm? Was it Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear?
Heath Ledger again.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm thinking of Stuck on You.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
They're basically interchangeable.
That one was directed by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. The only other thing I think I've seen is Tideland.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
You've not heard of it?
No.
Oh, wow. It's really strange. It's really strange and quite dark. But that one's got kind of a fairy tale, like a dark fairy tale edge to it as well. But it's been a very long time since I've seen it. I wouldn't mind watching that again.
Okay.
Giving it another go. Jennifer Tilly's in it. Jeff Bridges again. So he's worked with the same people quite a few times.
Yeah.
That's always a good sign,
Frequent
isn't it?
collaborators is always a good sign.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen way more of those. Oh, Jabberwocky, of course. Bloody hell.
How do you feel about seeing Christoph Waltz covered in lube and naked?
Is this relevant?
Maybe.
Or is this a dream you had?
Maybe. Maybe.
I'm not immediately opposed to the idea.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Well, you're in luck. Because have you seen the movie The Zero Theorem?
I haven't.
Oh, we should watch it then.
Okay.
I quite liked that film. I think it's sort of one that went a bit under the radar. It's a Gil I Am, obviously, but I saw it once and was like, this was all right. It was very weird, but I sort of got it. And I feel like at the age that I watched it and I thought that I understood it, to me that was a success. Like, I don't know, but maybe it doesn't kind of hold up as well now, or it was too obvious in what it was trying to tell you and sort of hitting you over the head, which is probably why I felt I understood it.
Dan, say less. You said it was weird. I'm already in. That's all it takes.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk about maybe as if we're going to start talking about the film a bit more, we should start with the cast, because we've got Depp, we've got Del Toro.
Let's get the Depp of it all out of the way, shall we?
Let's get the let's address the elephant in the room.
Let's rip that Band-Aid off.
It's a Johnny Depp movie. He seems like a really good guy, and I think that he is Jesus.
Okay. I disagree.
Captain Jack Jesus.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think he's a cunt. No,
I actually honestly don't know
what?
much about Johnny Depp. I mean, it feels weird to say that because obviously that trial was all over the place, which is a weird thing, by the way.
I hate that the public was so involved with that. We shouldn't have been. That was bizarre, like you say.
I think really the only people that know what happened in that is Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And everyone's just speculating. I don't know either way.
But what I would like to say, I have done enough independent research outside of the biased documentaries on Netflix and the YouTube talking heads that, again, always have a preconceived notion of what they think happened. And honestly, I really feel for Amber Heard. This is going to be potentially a really unpopular take. It's just my opinion. I've got no horse in this race. I don't know. I think she was really done dirty by the whole thing. Yeah. I think they were both abusive. I think knowing what I know about abusive relationships, I think a lot of what she exhibited was reactive abuse. But I'm not saying for a second that she was blameless. I think they're both people that need a heap of therapy.
Yeah.
And I really think the public should never have been dragged into it. We shouldn't have been privy to all of that. Yeah. It was bizarre.
It was weird.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Just turn it into a reality TV show. Like this. Like, I know
it's real people's lives.
Celebrities, but they are also human beings. Yeah. And they're not, no one's perfect. No one died as far as I know. But yeah, it sounds like a really unpleasant situation where two people probably shouldn't have been together and need therapy, as you say. And that's never going to end well. But it shouldn't end in a way that we're all pointing at it. It shouldn't end in a public spectacle. She's a baddie, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's not.
Everybody reporting on it has an agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're never going to know, as you said.
Yeah, the rage bait kind of headlines and videos and stuff that were around at that time, and also like it was a lot of people that were I'm thinking of one person in particular. I won't mention his name, but I suppose a movie journalist on YouTube was kind of cancelled around about use the term cancelled, whatever,
Yeah.
He suffered some consequences for his actions around about the Me Too kind of era, and went away for a while and came back and kind of blew up again when he was defending Johnny Depp during that trial. So I'm not read between the lines is what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's I feel like a lot of people that went to bat for Johnny Depp
didn't have the cleanest records.
The cleanest records.
Yeah. And
maybe the clearest, the correct opinions about abuse and all of that stuff. So
yeah, I just think
it's
I don't know. I find it weird that people go to such lengths to defend a total stranger.
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
Yeah, you don't have to get involved.
You can think what you think. Everyone's entitled to the opinion, but when you're getting on a lectern going, he is definitely innocent,
yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah, and it's hypocritical of me to say that because I am in fact airing my opinion right now.
Yeah.
But at least I'm self-aware about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like the guy.
Yeah.
But this is one of the reasons I don't like knowing as much as we do about stars, because as a movie fan, it affects my movie-going experience. It's really hard to put all that baggage aside and accept them as a fictional character.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I'm just thinking, it's a piece of shit.
It's
distracting.
Were you able to set that aside somewhat for this viewing?
Look, I've had to do this 3 weeks on the trot now.
Yeah.
Of my own making. This is my own fault.
Yeah, well, we had Franco, Leto, and
yeah.
Depp. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, good.
I do think in certain circumstances, I do believe in separating the art from the artist because, as you've said before, I wholeheartedly agree with the fact that, especially when it comes to movies and TV, there are so many moving parts. There are so many people involved. It's not fair to tar an entire project with the same brush just because of one person's involvement.
Yeah, agreed. And what did you think, if you are separating your own opinions on the man, what did you think initially of his performance? And what did you, because you've seen this film before.
Yeah.
A lot? Have you seen it a lot? Or?
Do you know what? When we went into this, I was under the impression I'd only seen it once before, but it was all so familiar to me. I think I must have watched it more than once back in the day.
Okay. So watching it this time then, because I'm assuming it's been a while.
Yeah, long time.
And, since all of this stuff has been uncovered about people's personal lives, but you were able to separate yourself a little bit from that. What did you think about Johnny Depp's performance in Fear and Loathing, and what did you remember about it originally?
I think he's fantastic in this.
Right.
Good. I think his performance is excellent. I think maybe never better. I'm trying to think of a Johnny Depp performance that might be better than this, or that I enjoy more.
Sarah, have you seen Pirates of the Caribbean 7?
No.
Then you haven't seen his best performance yet, then, have you? He's Jack Sparrow, Sarah. He just does something different in every Pirates movie.
But this is the thing. In addition to me not liking him as a human, based on what I know, I'm no expert, I also don't love him as an actor. Because I think he works with Tim Burton way too much.
Yeah.
I think some of the stuff that I've seen, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland, awful. I will be bringing up Alice in Wonderland again during this show.
Okay. Yes, I mean, I think I know what you're getting at there, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just so many of his performances that I don't love because he's just too out there.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I don't get along with him. Oh my God, Tusk.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. No doubt you'll make me watch it at some point.
Rough.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like he was making more interesting choices back then in the 90s. You feel like he was trying to take more risks. Obviously, we get into the early 2000s with Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was such a monumental success and just put him on a whole new level. He was already probably one of the top 5 movie stars working during the 90s, I would say, but like catastrophic when Pirates of the Caribbean hit, and because they made so much money and they were enormous, and for whatever reason, I guess the answer is money, he decided to just keep doing them and sort of lost touch with making interesting choices. And
Seems to be
maybe
the
in that
case.
sort of lost himself a bit as well, you know. It was when you sort of succumb to the Disneyfication of modern cinema so much, and that's just all you do for 10, 15 years, then yeah, you're going to lose your artistic integrity to some degree. I'm sure there's stuff that you can do to balance that, but then he didn't, I don't think, really. What interesting stuff has he done in the last 20 years? Genuinely.
I honestly don't know.
I mean, I didn't mind the movie Transcendence. A lot of people hated it.
I haven't seen that one.
It's I didn't mind it. It's like a high concept sci-fi idea that it was more interested in the premise of it, which it sort of hooked me in, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. Like, could have been way better, but directed by Christopher Nolan's cinematographer Wally Pfister. I think it was his first directing.
What an unfortunate name.
Silent P, Sarah. Silent P. Yeah. So yeah, he hasn't done much recently that would probably ever make it onto one of my seasons. Put it that way. But I do think that he's excellent in this.
Yeah.
And I think maybe my favourite Johnny Depp performance. I don't think anything comes close, to be honest. For me, anyway.
I liked it when he got eaten by that bed in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Yeah, wearing a crop top.
Look, I would be quite happy to go back to a time when men thought being masculine meant wearing crop tops and short shorts.
I can start rocking a crop top if you like.
Do it.
Yeah, all right. I will.
Bring the moustache back as well.
My moustache? Yeah, all right. Well, I've got a little bit of a moustache still, but it's now hidden by the rest of my beard.
Make bold choices.
Yeah. Do you think that Benicio del Toro made bold choices in this movie?
He made some choices, didn't he? Honestly, I think Benicio del Toro is better than Johnny Depp in this. I think he pips him just a little bit. They're both great, don't get me wrong. But I think Benicio del Toro is phenomenal in this movie.
I agree. As much as this is my favourite Depp performance, and I love his take on the character Raoul Duke in this.
Yeah.
I think Benicio del Toro is so magnificent.
He just goes all in.
He just completely steals it.
Yeah.
And it, like you say, he goes all in. He's scary. He's funny. He has moments where he seems quote unquote normal, but like
they're
those
few and far
moments
between.
A few, yeah. And he's Raoul Duke's attorney, and I love that kind of what they're going for with that, like the kind of the law, the advisory figure being the one that's leading you astray and towards demise, essentially. But I think Del Toro's performance is so specific and so unpredictable. Like I say, scary in places, funny in places. I feel genuine fear for some of the conversations he has with.
Oh yeah.
Some of the female characters in this, like really, like you don't know what's going to happen. It's unpredictable.
Particularly like Christina Ricci's character, like
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
In the elevator with the knife.
He's way too happy to wield a knife.
Yeah.
Way too happy.
It's mad, and I think Del Toro is one of those, I'm sure we spoke about it in our The Way of the Gun episode, but he's kind of one of those actors who's a bit of a comedian to me. Like, he can just completely get lost in a character.
Yeah. Well, look, he won an Oscar for a reason.
Yeah, true.
He's great.
True.
But yeah, I think we're maybe a bit more used to seeing him in serious roles, or I am anyway. So this is just like next level.
Yeah.
He is... I'm trying to think what I can even liken it to. Like, if you told me that his character was a tiny bit of it was the inspiration for like Charlie in It's Always Sunny, I could believe that.
Yeah.
Just absolute wild card behaviour.
Yeah. I mean, didn't you see him eating cat food throughout the entire movie? Yeah, he's great. He's great.
I think the only thing he didn't do in this movie was huff paint, though.
Yeah. He did that off screen, I think. Yeah. Cameos in this movie. There were so many people that I didn't remember being in it, to be frank. Like Vern Troyer is in it. We mentioned Cameron Diaz already.
Jeanette Goldstein, you mentioned.
Christina Ricci. Gary Busey?
Gary Busey, I'd completely forgotten he was in it.
Yeah.
Craig Bierko.
Craig Bierko, obviously. Yeah, he wasn't Portuguese, though.
No.
Tobey Maguire,
Oh,
your
yeah.
favourite.
Yeah.
Do you think that him being in this movie was a reaction to him not being in Empire Records?
Literally the first note that I made is that Tobey Maguire wasn't acting. He just did drugs on the set of Empire Records, went a little bit insane, and was just roaming the desert for 3 years until he was picked up by Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
That's canon now.
Yeah. I'd forgotten he was in it so early. In my mind, I thought it was in the middle of the movie, but I guess he's in it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He wouldn't shave his head.
He wouldn't shave his head.
He refused to shave his head. He's so precious.
Yeah.
So they said that to write it into his contract that he would have to shave his head would have cost an extra 15 grand.
Okay.
So they said they were already over budget, so they couldn't do that. But then because he refused to shave his head, they had to use wigs, prosthetics, and like computer effects to remove the line around his hairline.
Mm.
So it ended up costing way more than 15 grand anyway.
Yeah.
Just because he wouldn't shave his head.
I mean, it's his choice.
I would shave my head for a movie.
I mean, it depends on the movie. I would shave my head for this movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not for Empire Records.
I would shave my head for Empire Records. Robin Tunney shaved her head for Empire Records.
Robin Tunney actually did, yeah, you're right. All things come back to Empire Records, don't they?
In a perfect world, yes.
Yeah.
Who else have we got then?
Oh, that was all I wrote down for cameos. Can you remember any others?
The only one I remember is Lorraine Newman from SNL.
I'm not familiar with Lorraine Newman.
She was portrayed in Saturday Night that came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's the mother of I forget her name, but the younger character in Hacks.
Right, okay.
She's a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember. There were so many. There were just so many. It was a real sort of scattergun. Here's a famous face. Here's a famous face. Here's another one.
Yeah.
And I'd completely forgotten.
Me too. I'd completely forgotten. One I hadn't forgotten is the appearance by Hunter S. Thompson himself.
Oh, yeah.
In a really clever scene.
I don't know a great deal about Hunter S. Thompson.
Okay.
But I feel like you know more.
I mean, I have a cigarette holder.
And a bucket hat.
And a bucket hat, yeah.
And a visor.
And a Hawaiian
and you're
shirt.
wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, you're very themed today. Very on brand.
Yeah.
So tell me what you know about him.
I honestly, I don't know that much about him. I've seen this film. I've read the book that this film is based on. I've watched a few interviews over the years. And all I know really is that he was kind of a self-taught writer, I think, where he worked for the military in the late 50s.
Oh, really?
So I'm guessing a lot of his disillusionment may have stemmed from some of his early experiences, maybe in the military.
That would explain why he was so anti-establishment.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
later years.
Yeah, kind of honed his craft doing that. Became a sports journalist. Did a bit of everything. Apparently was in the Watergate Hotel when they broke in.
Really?
Was in the bar. Of course he was in the bar. Where else would he have been? Yeah, apparently. That's irony there. But yeah, apart from that, I don't know too much about him as a man. Gonzo journalism as a concept is something I hadn't heard of until I watched Fear and Loathing back in 98, 99.
Is Gonzo journalism a Hunter S. Thompson thing, or was he just like a proponent of it?
I think it's his thing. I think he was, like all things, they're inspired by the things that came before them. So I think like the new kind of wave of journalism in the 60s, which we spoke about briefly in our Almost Famous episode with like Lester Bangs doing the Rolling Stones things, who I believe was a big fan of the Gonzo movement that came later.
Okay.
I believe he kind of came up with this concept himself where you would filter the subject matter, the subject that you're covering through yourself and your own opinions. And obviously journalism before that, and some people argue should be completely unbiased. I think there's room for all of it, to be honest, as long as you're savvy as a consumer.
Yeah, and I think, do you think the journalists have an obligation to declare whether they've got a bias, or do you think...
Yeah, I think so.
You do think they should declare it, or do you think it is on the consumer to apply a bit of nuance and discern
I think
their bias themselves?
I think that's an interesting question. I think my initial reaction was, yeah, I think you should declare it, but then I don't want that to remove any of the sting or the point of that it's trying to make.
Yeah.
I don't want it to take me out of it. So maybe it is more of it's on you to kind of discern it. You know, watching satire and comedy in general. Like it's about the intentions of the joke and what it's trying to portray and tell you about. And yeah, it's probably more of a viewer discretion situation, I would say.
It's an interesting question to ponder, though.
Yeah. I do love the concept of Gonzo journalism. Like I say, I think it's the first time I became aware of it was when I watched this movie and did some light digging into it over the years since. But when I think about it, the type of journalism that I really enjoy, you probably could describe it as Gonzo journalism. The most obvious example I can think of is Louis Theroux, where he is very much part of it. You watch a Louis Theroux documentary because you want to see a Louis Theroux documentary, right? You want to see him.
That's true, yeah.
Look at certain subjects, serious subjects, whether that's prisons or porn industry or rapping, you know.
Or Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, or Jimmy Savile. But you want to see it via Louis Theroux, but via his
So that's what Gonzo journalism
questions.
is then, because I don't see Louis Theroux as somebody who's got a really apparent bias, but you're right, you are consuming it with him as your proxy.
Yeah. I think there is a clear bias.
Do you?
With Louis Theroux stuff. I do, but I think it's subtle in that he doesn't really declare it, and he's not, even the way he frames his questions. But I think that there is a clear opinion there. But
that's interesting. I've never really thought about it like that.
But it's not just, I mean, for me, it's not just understanding what his opinion might be on it, but it's just the fact of the way that he asks the questions and his technique does seem to allow people to open up sometimes. I mean, not like the Nazis, they didn't open up very much, but
it does seem to be that he doesn't say very much of anything. And most people are made so nervous by silence that they will then fill it.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating.
I think that's taking, allowing people to let their guards down, whether that's via being trusted as a journalist or maybe creating an awkward silence where people feel like they've got to fill the air, like you say, or whether that's being a complete madman like Hunter S. Thompson and provoking to the point where people are confused and just give you weird information that they never would. I don't know. I don't think Louis Theroux is provocative in the same way.
No.
But I feel like there is definitely a through line there. I think Louis Theroux is provocative in other more subtle ways. And
I guess he's provocative in the topics that he chooses to cover.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
He never does like, we're going to go on on location with somebody's bakery. It's always like, it's the extremes of society. It's like,
absolutely,
let's go and interview the Westboro Baptist Church, that sort of stuff.
It's the fringe polarizing and the polarizing like cults and groups of people and stuff. Yeah, with weird views that. Yeah, it's interesting. I can definitely see a through line there. I was thinking about Anthony Bourdain as well. Like I haven't seen much Bourdain stuff, so I'm not really much of a Bourdain guy. But the little I have seen, he's obviously visiting places and experiencing food and talking about culture and history of the places that he goes to. I feel like that is and travel documentaries in general, which were. I feel like I grew up with Michael Palin. I feel like it took him longer than 80 days to go around that world. Fucking hell. I feel like it went on forever. Yeah, like are all travel documentaries Gonzo journalism? Because they're going, this beach is great, which is my opinion.
I guess so, yeah, because they are. I'm trying to think of like travel documentaries, and the only one I can think of right now is Travel Man with Richard Ayoade. Yeah. But yeah, maybe. I think you could probably trace it back to Gonzo journalism.
Yeah.
Even if it's a bit of an imitation of what it started off as being, I guess it is. There's a connection, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the style
visually
of filming? Yeah, well, some of the techniques used, some of the effects as well.
Effects.
Effects.
Which effects are we talking about?
Well, initially when I said that, I was mostly thinking about the CG effects of like distorting faces and when you're sort of seeing things from their point of view and the world around them is distorting. And
yeah. Well, I like, there's a couple of things I want to mention if we're talking about effects. The first one is as you say, the distortion, the visual distortions. I have never done acid, but if I had, I imagine that that's very similar to what it would look like. Like if you look at a carpet and it starts to wave and move a little bit, from what I've heard, that's very similar to what you might experience.
I want no part of that.
No. So I enjoyed the distortions, certainly. From what I understand, it's quite realistic. The reptile stuff,
I loved the reptile scene.
Yeah, in that scene where he's sitting at the bar. I think they just checked into the hotel and Del Toro disappears after telling him to eat the nuts. Disappears and Raoul Duke just starts freaking out. I think they'd done a lot of acid at that point, or ether, or everything that you can think of. I love the briefcase full of drugs.
Everything. I know we've sort of gone drug to drug to drug this season, and now we're ending on a veritable buffet of just about everything.
Veritable buffet.
An old school Hollywood buffet, you could say.
If you've seen the studio, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. Don't let Zoe Kravitz anywhere near it. Yeah, the reptile stuff. So creature design. I'd honestly forgotten that there was some creature design in this, which is always a nice thing for us to talk about, isn't it?
By none other than Rob Bottin.
Rob Bottin himself.
Yeah,
made the lizard creatures who we've spoken about before a few times, I think.
He's great.
Oh, absolutely. He's one of the greats.
He is, but I think amongst I don't know how to phrase this without it sounding disparaging. The wider general population would not know who the fuck Rob Bottin was.
Oh, of course not. Why would they? People have got lives, unlike us.
This is my life, Dan. How dare you?
It's just us and the listener.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there are others that people would say before Rob Bottin, which is a crying shame because he is one of the greats.
Yeah, 100%. And I really liked the reptile design in this.
So good.
I heard that they consulted with David Icke for that scene.
They were like, just sketch out what you think the Queen looks like. And we'll go with that.
Yeah. But I really like that scene as it's one of the most memorable, I think, thinking about it now. I feel like it's maybe a point in the movie where it's most obvious what the point of view is. I don't think it's a subtle movie.
No, God, no.
But I think in that scene, what's going on there is these people, I guess, regressing to an animalist, like an animal state.
Yeah, a primal
state. Yeah, where it's just excess consumption and just
sex,
violence, like mindless hedonism.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's a point in the movie where you just see what this movie is about, basically.
I love that scene and I hate it in equal measure because it sort of descends into like a reptilian version of Brian Usner's Society, which is a horrifying thought if you've seen that movie. But yeah, you're right. It absolutely does sort of lay it all out there, doesn't it?
I think so. And it's very funny as well. And that's the thing that I really love about this film.
And just visually interesting.
Very, very interesting, yeah. It's very funny and it's about something.
Yeah.
And it's a satire. There's a lot of things in there that are my favourite things, which is, I think, one of the reasons why I love this movie so much. Effects wise, what other effects do we have in this? I like the stuff they did with the shadows, actually. There's some quite interesting shadow stuff. I was going to say shadow work, but I think that's something else. They used the shadows from the TV screen to beam the helicopter, the metal snake, and they did some work with shadows with going back to the distortions on the carpet as well, I think. And they had the flowers kind of climbing up, I think, a body via shadows, like very interesting mix of, I guess, practical and perhaps computer generated stuff back then. So that was very interesting.
Do you think any of the effects have dated this film at all?
I don't, actually. And I feel like while they're not all perfect, it's a surreal, when you're dealing with a movie that's so surreal by its very nature, I think you can get away with that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I don't think it makes too much of a difference. If you're trying to be show a realistic take on something, a real world thing, then I think it does age a project. But in this case, a bit like, when we spoke about in Requiem for a
You
Dream.
can't say Requiem anymore, can you?
I can't. My brain's just like, it's called Requiem, Dan. Don't you know? Requiem. I'm going to try and train myself to get out of it, because otherwise people think I'm an idiot, and they don't think that at the moment.
No, nobody
currently
has that opinion right now.
It's a bit like when we spoke about in Requiem for a Dream, where the budget was very limited on that, and it looks a bit cheap in places, and like absolutely brilliant film.
Yeah.
But it looks a bit cheap and possibly dated, just like the way it was filmed and stuff, but it works because that's about a very difficult subject matter. I think similarly it works here because it's so surreal, and you can get away with things, visual techniques that maybe don't aged very well. If you're talking about CGI, you can tell that it's CGI. It doesn't really matter so much because you know that all of the stuff you're seeing is a projection of Raoul Duke, who is out of his mind on LSD.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It's more what it's going for.
So apparently the budget was 18.5 million, which is, considering the caliber of the people involved, Benicio del Toro and Johnny Depp were both kind of names already by that point.
Yeah.
Just the volume of cameos, the sets, the fact that it's a period piece. It's kind of incredible what they did with that 18.5 million.
I hadn't thought about that. Even when you just say period, like that adds so much on. You've got to get period accurate clothes, cars, all set dressing.
And some of the set dressing was fantastic, I have to say.
Yeah.
Really memorable. The two that spring to mind is right near the beginning when they're having breakfast, I think, at the hotel. Just that sort of, I don't know, it kind of makes me think of like Florida, like Miami, kind of the pink and the green and the palms and just very distinct looking of a specific place and era. And I love it. I thought that was fantastic. And also the circus bar, the rotating, like my absolute living nightmare.
Yeah.
I would have vomited immediately on that thing. But that was actually a replica of an existing bar in a casino.
Really?
Yeah.
It's what a good idea to put a carousel in a bar.
And then surround it by circus acts and weird shit.
Yeah. Maybe one of my top 3 funniest scenes is watching Benicio del Toro trying to get off that merry-go-round. And it goes on for way longer than I remembered as well, but it just keeps getting funnier.
It's basically slapstick.
It is. I think it basically is slapstick, a lot of it, yeah.
But somehow manages to be elevated slapstick, if that even makes sense.
Absolutely. Because like I said, it's about something. Just going back to that restaurant scene at the start of the movie, that's, I think, actually one of the few scenes that weren't shot at a Dutch angle.
Yeah, oh my God.
Most of it was.
I made a note about Dutch angles very early on when we were watching this. And as soon as I sort of acknowledged that, oh my God, there are a lot of Dutch angles, I was like, are there any that aren't?
Yeah.
I think there are more Dutch angles than there are regular shots in this film.
100% there are. And obviously that's a point of view choice because, like I say at the start, they're doing less of them when I'm sure that these characters are doing something.
Yeah, at all times.
But they're not at the stage where they've had ether, LSD, pot, coke, when they've done all of that stuff where they're just on another planet entirely. That's when all of the Dutch angle stuff start coming in, and you've got that really interesting perspective. A lot of wide angles being used as well, so it looks weird when your characters are close to the camera and almost looking at you as well. Like the actors, not Benicio del Toro so much, but definitely Johnny Depp, and particularly at the start of the movie, he's definitely looking at you, going, this is crazy, isn't it? And you can see the point of view of it as well. Just that it's so bizarre and weird. And I think that quote at the start of the film as well is really useful, I think.
Remind me?
It's I can't remember the exact quote or who wrote it, but
there were words in it.
There were words in it. Yeah, there were words in it. Something, paraphrase here. If the world goes to shit, one of the easiest ways to deal with it is also if you become a piece of shit, or if the world's on fire, set yourself on fire. Like something, something like that, So that's obviously what this film is about. That the kind of the decline of America. It's a very American film. We started with a Danny Boyle, very British filmmaker. Finished with a very American film, I think.
Especially the settings, like just setting it in Las Vegas and
Yeah.
those long stretches of desert highway and stuff. It's so American.
It's so American. Like Las Vegas, a place that should not exist.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the desert, it should not be there. It's
Mhm.
weird that it's there. And what did you choose to do with it? Put all the fucking light bulbs in America that you have.
And make it a monument to excess and capitalism.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which is why, I think this film's perfect in many ways, because it's that era of the 70s where a lot of the optimism of the 60s and the hippie movement has really started to go away.
Yeah.
And things get more cynical and capitalism becomes even stronger, and can argue about where that is now, but definitely then that's when things, I think, started to become a lot more corporatized, and people with agendas were trying to control narrative and political movements more and more, I think. So there was a lot more disappointment, I think, in culture there, and I think a response to that was, well, let's just go mad. Let's drive to Vegas and go on a 3-day bender and just go absolutely mad and lose our minds in the place that, as we said, should not exist, and is just a mecca for
Tom Jones.
Yeah.
And Penn and Teller.
Yeah. Pengilo. Yeah, who's in this movie?
Who is in this movie, yeah. He's another cameo that we forgot about. Along with Chris Maloney.
Chris Maloney, right.
Doing a borderline offensive gay voice.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Although I did love his character.
Yes.
And how he was able to get one over on the police.
Yes.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
That might have been one of my favourite cameos, actually.
It was a fun one, wasn't it?
I think it's quite important that he was a gay character because of the history there. And I'm not going to start talking about Stonewall and all of that stuff, but the tensions between the gay communities and the police over the decades, and how the police in many places still aren't welcome at Pride and that sort of thing. So I thought that little exchange was excellent and quite satisfying.
It was really satisfying to see the I can never remember that actor's name, but he's one of those guys.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like he's in all the Pet Detective movies or something.
And he's always got that weird jarhead haircut.
Yeah. It was very entertaining to see that character absolutely lose his mind with
apoplectic
anger.
with rage.
Yeah, very, very satisfying. And I love that they have that exchange, which goes on for a while, and then Raoul Duke just kind of walks in and goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Yes, how can I help you, sir?" And he couldn't be more helpful.
Again, that's why it's important that character was gay, because it's like we're both part of some sort of counterculture here. We're both subversive in our lifestyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have your room.
Yeah, you can have your room. And we're actually going to stick two fingers up to the establishment here, because we've got an opportunity to do so. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Like all that optimism we had in the 60s about becoming more progressive as a culture and feeling like we're making progress and moving in the right direction, and then it goes completely backwards in the 70s. Not unlike kind of stuff we're experiencing at the moment. I fear
we've come no further. I know everybody's like, but we have made some progress. Have we?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an optimist, so I would say that we have, but we have regressed again. Like, there's no denying that.
People are trying to drag us backwards.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we have people like Hunter S. Thompson that are provoking.
Yeah, and just questioning the status quo.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe you might watch this movie and think, is it glorifying drugs? Maybe it is, but maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. Is
it though?
Oh,
it doesn't seem like they're having the greatest time.
All I can tell you, Sarah, as someone that's never done drugs, is that I never wanted to watch this every time I didn't do drugs, hard drugs. It was never a staple for my friends and I to acquire,
to not do drugs
things
and then watch this,
and then not watch this. Yeah,
right.
I think okay, let me rephrase. I think if you're a teenage boy and you're an idiot, yeah, it does glorify drugs. I think
if you're a teenage boy and an idiot, then you can read anything into anything, surely.
True, yeah. But so you don't think that it does glorify drugs, I guess?
I don't think so. No, they're not productive, and it doesn't seem like they're having the greatest time.
It's not
even
about being productive.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, well, to be somewhere else, I guess. And that is the point.
I
to not have to deal with this weird reality that they've been presented with.
I guess this is this sort of speaks to one of the reasons that I chose this season, and that is that I don't understand the notion to do a lot of drugs. As I've said on a previous podcast, I am a medical cannabis user. It's barely a drug at this point. It's legal in so many countries now. But the harder stuff, not for me.
Yeah.
So I do find it fascinating. In the same way that I consume true crime, a lot of it's just about the psychology of it. I find it really interesting because it's alien to me. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it glorifies it. Not at all. It makes them make bad decisions, do bad things. Like, no.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. They don't make the best decisions in this movie.
Do they make any good decisions?
No, probably no good decisions whatsoever, right? It was a good decision to take that beer on that dune buggy in the desert and try and cover it so sand didn't go in it. But
well, it wasn't a good idea because it didn't work.
It was unsuccessful, no.
It was a good idea to record everything.
Yeah.
Even though he struggled to make sense of it.
Yeah. It was a good idea to put in a Flight of the Valkyrie in that racing sequence that he was meant to be covering for his piece.
True.
And a point in the movie, another probably scene in the movie where you go, okay, yeah, it's obvious what this is doing. I guess you're referencing Apocalypse Now, but also that is playing where the people in the military truck pull up with guns and they're firing guns, and Raoul Duke's response is something like, "Oh, they're morons" or something. Like, not very subtle, is it? There, but
not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Speaking of the music, I didn't love the soundtrack. I'll be honest. Altogether, too much Tom Jones for my liking.
Well, you're in Vegas. It's not unusual to hear a Tom Jones track when you're in Vegas.
I hate that you did that.
It's Tom Jones or it's Wayne Newton, isn't it?
Well, I would rather have Wayne Newton at this point.
No.
But I don't know, the soundtrack was just... The only way I can describe the songs in this is that they've all definitely been used in adverts. Bar that one, I think it's Jefferson Airplane song that's a banger.
Yeah. Which
does loop me back around to Alice in Wonderland. And how I think those parallels are definitely intentional. Definitely intentional. How much do you know about Alice in Wonderland? Have you ever read the books, seen any of the adaptations?
I think I've seen the Tim Burton version.
Oh no, the worst one.
I think that's probably the only one I've seen, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, aware of it, obviously. It was all over the place when we were kids. It was all the rage back then. Kids loved it.
We're going to have to rectify that. It's my favourite Disney movie.
Is it a Disney movie?
There's a Disney Alice in Wonderland, yeah.
Do you know what? Maybe I must have seen it when I was a kid. I must have.
I own it. It's on the shelf.
Okay.
One of the only Disney movies I actually own.
But sort of vaguely familiar with that could be described as an acid trip.
Oh,
hugely. If you will. Okay. Is that the kind of the comparisons that you're coming from?
Well, yeah. I mean, so it's a journey. She falls down the rabbit hole. They go on a drug binge. It's not identical. But they both sort of take this journey and meet odd people along the way, end up in weird, distorted iterations of reality. Like, nothing's quite right. I think there are a lot of parallels.
Yeah.
And especially because Lewis Carroll was known to use laudanum, which was like a Victorian era opiate, basically.
Oh, really?
I think it had opium in it.
Well, that does explain a lot.
Yeah. But it was effectively legal, and the Victorians used it for all manner of ailments because they didn't know it was addictive.
And my leg's fallen off.
Have a laudanum about it. See if that helps. Yeah.
It's laudanum time.
So he was definitely off his tits when he wrote Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not already obvious from the events of the book itself. But yeah, I don't know. I did try to dig into that a little bit more because I do think there are so many parallels and there's an obvious influence there. And also, I don't know, Terry Gilliam strikes me as the sort of bloke who would love Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I would say that they definitely watched Alice in Wonderland as preparation for this and read. Did you say that's based on a book by Lewis Carroll?
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name?
One of my favourite books.
Okay, I'm sure that was a big influence on this for sure. I mean, it's undeniable, really, in a way. That there's just the whole journey nature of it, falling down this rabbit hole. You don't know where you're going to end up, and hey, that's part of the fun. That's part of the appeal.
Just have a nibble on this biscuit, and it'll make you feel like you're 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
Loads of stuff like that. There's a weird caterpillar smoking a hookah pipe on top of a mushroom.
Is that
This is normal.
Is that what's in that book? That
Yeah.
happens in that book. Maybe I should read this thing.
You might like it.
Probably would like it.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
For a kid's book.
Yeah.
Strange, yeah. I went to see a theatre production of it. And you know me in theatre, we tend not to get on. But when I was a kid, there was a production called Alice in the Park. And it was in a park in Manchester. And you sort of followed the actors. And you walked through the woods, and there was stuff like on the trees to make it look like you were falling down the rabbit hole. And then you come out in a clearing, and there's a huge toadstool with a caterpillar on it, and it was so good.
That does sound cool.
Like, it's giving me chills. It was one of the most magical experiences when I was a kid.
That's really cool, especially back then. Like, now we have things like Secret Cinema, and you can pay £450 to go to one of these things.
Yeah,
and it's great. We're going to a Labyrinth one, so that'll be cool. But I didn't realise that they were doing that sort of thing, like an interactive experience, even back then. That's very interesting. I'd have been all about that.
I was devastated though, because there was a part, I think I must have been about 8, and there was a part where there's the scene where they're playing croquet with flamingos. Flamingos are the croquet mallets, and one of the actors obviously was trying to like animate the flamingo and make it look real. And I had an ice cream cone, and he came over and went, ah! And the flamingo decked my ice cream cone.
Oh, did you cry?
Probably.
Yeah. I know you could imagine.
You know me and ice cream.
You'd cry now if that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, no.
But memorable.
Would you do a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas experience?
No.
Movie, cinema, secret cinema experience. Drugs are not compulsory, are they? You can't do that.
You can't make an illegal thing compulsory,
exactly.
No. Well, maybe then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in a heartbeat.
You've already got the outfit.
Yeah.
And actually, funnily enough, Benicio del Toro put on £40 for this role. And I've done that in the last 2 years for free without even trying. So, like, who deserves the Oscar? That's all I'm saying.
So I'll be Raoul Duke, you be Dr. Gonzo then.
Yeah, all right.
That does mean that you've got to threaten people with a knife.
I can do that. I'd rather do that than being the one being threatened.
Yeah, true.
I don't like grapefruit, so...
No. Yeah, again, a scene which will come naturally to you.
Yeah.
You love having a bath of fully clothed.
I do that often, yeah.
I do. Yeah.
There was a point at which we were watching this, and I just thought, I feel like, I don't know, he just let go during this movie, and I feel like it would have been either the best or the worst experience. Like, he probably had the most fun ever or the least fun ever, and I can't decide which one.
I'm not sure. I know that Del Toro became particularly close with Hunter S. Thompson after the movie, and they stayed friends until Thompson died in 2005.
Oh.
So, but I think I get the impression that he did enjoy making this. I mean, it looks like an absolute ball to me. It looks great. The one thing that I was sort of dreading touching on and seeing in this movie was the scene with Christina Ricci. Like, it's been a few years since I'd seen this movie, and I was wondering if that scene held up. I was wondering if I fully understood what was going on, even with that scene when I last saw it. I remember it just making me feel quite uncomfortable when I watched that scene, but not so much this time. Like, I watched it and there's a very clear point of view here, so I feel like it's less of a problem in terms of Dr. Gonzo is not a good guy. Like, he's lost his mind essentially, and he's making these really bad decisions. What did you think of that scene? Do you remember that scene come in? And do you feel uncomfortable? Because I feel like some of that scene is sort of funny as well, and I'm sort of feel uncomfortable admitting that, because he's in a robe and he starts hitting Christina Ricci or slightly, like lightly, with like a handkerchief or something, and that's quite amusing to me. But the undertones, the subtext of that is that he has drugged a minor and taken her back to his hotel room, and use your imagination for what else may or may not have occurred.
Yeah, and he's talking about selling her for basically trafficking her to other people. And...
But that's Raoul Duke's response, isn't it? I feel like that's what he says to Dr. Gonzo as a way to make him realise how weird the thing that he's doing is.
No, I know. I'm just sort of saying, like, it does make me uncomfortable, yes, because God, she looks so young.
Yeah.
She looks like she did in Casper.
Yeah, you're right. I've forgotten about Casper, which was 2 years before this.
Yeah, it can't have been much before,
Yeah.
but yeah, she looks really young. So it did make me a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think it made me more uncomfortable that it was played for laughs, to be honest.
Yes.
But like you say, they're not co-signing his behaviour, they're just portraying it.
I think they're portraying it, and I think that I said earlier in the episode about him being the lawyer character. He's the one that should be leading, not necessarily by example, but yeah, I suppose you should really. If you're practicing law, you should probably follow the law.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very clear point of view where they're saying even the people that are meant to be guiding you in the correct way are idiots, are morons, are leading you down the wrong path. And it's up to you as Raoul Duke to question the things, have fun, enjoy yourself, don't take things too seriously, understand what's going on in the world, but still recognize right from wrong if you can. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Does make me feel uncomfortable that I'm laughing in that scene, but also part of the reason why it's memorable, I think, because it does make me feel uncomfortable when I'm thinking about it more. Oh, why am I finding this funny? That's interesting. What's going on here? Yeah, I'm going to think about this scene a bit more. So I think it works. I was dreading it, to be honest.
I didn't know it was coming. I'd forgotten because it had been such a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that baggage. But yeah, interesting.
Like, go to Vegas, live out your dreams.
Yeah.
Not that dream.
No, not that one.
On that light note, I think this film is a fascinating film because it's a very, very funny, for me anyway, very funny film, satire about something very serious, and it presents it in a way that I find it very easy to watch this movie and absorb it. I feel other people probably have complete opposite experience. I feel like a lot of people get to end this movie and go, what the fuck was that about?
So I had a similar moment like that because it did end and I turned to you and went, what was the plot, Dan? What happened?
Well, there's not really a plot, is there? That's the thing.
No. I'm only half serious. That's not a criticism from me because some of my favourite movies are hangout movies where literally nothing happens.
Yeah, we watched Empire Records.
Yeah. Clerks. Let's just spend a day in a shop with these guys.
Yeah. Life of Grime.
But I'm glad I chose it for this season. I'm glad you bought it on Blu-ray and I'm glad we watched it together because I think probably the last time I watched it was I probably would have been 19 or so, maybe. Yeah. And it was straight over my head. It was just two hedonistic guys doing all the drugs. And I don't really think I thought about it on any sort of deeper level than that. So I'm really glad that we were able to kind of dissect it and look at more of the nuance and some of the meaning. It's
one of my favourite types of film because it's very entertaining to me.
I'd forgotten how funny it was, actually.
Yeah. It's a comedy. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a straight out comedy. And Leonardo DiCaprio watched this movie before he did Quaaludes in Wolf of Wall Street, by the way. But yeah, I think it was a really good one to end on. I think there's loads to talk about, to unpack in that. I think if we wanted to, we could have made this a 2-hour episode, but we don't want to be boring our listeners to death with our opinions.
We don't need to spend half an hour pontificating on whether Johnny Depp really did give Gary Busey a little kiss. We don't need to do that.
He did. He clearly did though, didn't he?
Busey improv that line.
Yeah. Flea's another cameo.
Yeah.
I love that line as well. That line afterwards where, can I remember how it goes? It must be comforting to know that wherever that man goes in life, he'll know that men are doing things in bathrooms behind doors, things that he'll never know or understand or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it's a very funny line to me. That always stuck with me.
There are a lot of very funny moments in this movie, a lot of funny dialogue.
There's a lot of funny dialogue, and I think Thompson at his best obviously just had a real cutting, funny way of phrasing things.
Yeah.
And just his point of view was...
I really enjoy the phrase towering Jesus rage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good one to end on. I'm glad that you ended on this one. It's all of the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's loads to dig into there. And we've managed to find some links with other episodes we've done with Almost Famous, which was a link that I wasn't expecting, actually.
Second film this season where people eat shrimp in Las Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't even spoken about that, have we? Go being the first one, obviously. Yeah, it's funny how we had two movies set in Vegas in this
Is
season.
it?
Yeah, I mean, it's
In
obvious
drug
when you
season,
think about
is
it,
it?
really. Like, where are you going to end up? It's Vegas, which I guess proves the point of Hunter S. Thompson even more.
Sin City, baby.
Yeah. That's what they call it, isn't it?
Mm.
Is the movie Sin City actually set in Sin City?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, so thank you for putting Fear and Loathing on. I'm really glad that you chose this one and decided to end on this one.
Me too. Yeah, I think I'll be honest, when I scheduled this one in, it was definitely more for your benefit than mine. But I'm really glad that I've had a refresher on it now, because I think I'll be way more inclined to return to it.
Oh, good. It's one of those that probably anytime you want to put it on, I'm game.
Okay.
Let's put it on. Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times at this point, but not for a while. I think it's maybe been, I want to say maybe 10 years since I last saw it.
Well, you were deliberating getting the Blu-ray for a long time.
Yeah. And also I was worried about how it held up as well. So there was that. But I'm glad to say that it holds up brilliantly. And it's me that's changed, and the film's just gotten better, I think, for me.
Excellent. Excellent.
Very happy, very happy. But that's it for the season of drugs movies, Sarah, isn't it?
Whew.
We have cometh to an end.
We made it.
On our 8-week journey of various substances covered in the visual media we know as film.
This is like when you have to reach a word limit on an essay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you're choosing the theme for the next season. It's
back
to you.
Back to me. We're taking it in turns again now. So we're going to go on a bit of a break. We've got the end of season wrap show coming out on the Patreon feed next week. So keep an eye out for that if you're a Patreon. If you're a Patreon, or if you're a patron.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, thanks for your feedback. So we'll be back in a few weeks on September the 8th with my season. I've decided to go for video game movies.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
It's a theme that was suggested by a friend of the show and Patreon/patron, Paul. A while ages ago, he suggested doing this theme. Kept it in my back pocket. I did want to get to this at some point. I was a little bit worried because there might be a lot of crossover with our flop season, in that it's very hard to find a good video game movie.
Yeah.
But then I thought, fuck it. They don't need to be good, do they? So 8 movies of video game, I guess, adaptations or video game movies. The full schedule will be announced on Patreon shortly. But the first movie,
one?
the first one we're doing is Resident Evil 2002, the Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich movie, which spawned 5 sequels or 6 sequels.
A lot of them, yeah.
And they're still making them. They're still making Resident Evil movies.
Well, better that than Monster Hunter sequels. Surely.
I know. But yeah, so we're back on September the 8th for 8 movies of video game films, and first one being Resident Evil. So we'll be back then.